Welcome to Beyond Belief, where we cover all of the events involving Toronto's favorite Suns, the Toronto Maple Leafs, with your hosts, Adam and Donnie.
Welcome to another episode of Beyond Belief, a Toronto Maple Leafs podcast and vidcast. As always, I'm your host, Adam, and with me is my co-host, Donnie, for this podcast, The Leaf Enthusiast. Donnie, we're back again. We're in the middle of, or nearing the end of July.
The boring months of summer, if you're a hockey fan.
Yeah, I need hockey back real bad because I've gotten to the point where, there were a couple of things I wanted to do this summer in terms of, things I wanted to, in terms of summer movie season, I wanted to watch. Two of those things were the Superman movie and the Fantastic Four movie.
Mm-hmm.
I've now seen them both. By the time our viewers and listeners have seen this episode, my birthday will have passed. So by the time you're watching and listening to this, I am 42. And so I'm good and ready for hockey to be back at this point. So we can begin the process of the Leafs disappointing me for the 32nd year in consecutive terms.
I was looking at some new Leafs gear online last week, and I saw one shirt that said "Just once before I die."
I have that shirt. Yeah, I wore that the last time. You should buy one, Donnie, so that we can both have one. Because hey,
I've heard that's a popular seller up there in Canada.
Oh, it sure is, and unfortunately, it's it's very apropos with this team because God knows. But with the off season comes acquisitions and subtractions, and so we have that. We have some of that to talk about. But we also have the release of the schedule for the preseason and regular season. And Leafs hockey in preseason form will be back on Sunday, September 22nd against the Ottawa Senators. So we are less than 2 months away, Donnie, from a form of Leaf hockey being back. So let me run down the preseason schedule.
Okay.
There's 6 games on the schedule. September 22nd against Ottawa at home. September 24th against Ottawa on the road. September 26th against Montreal at home. September 28th against Montreal away. October 3rd against Detroit in Detroit. And October 5th against Detroit at home. Look, it's I think it's a little bit ridiculous to get overly excited or pessimistic about preseason results.
Well, that's true.
Because really, for about 2, maybe 3 of those games, you're playing your complete NHL roster. For sure 2, the last 2. Possibly 3, you'll have a good mix of what you're going to get. So, but what I think preseason offers is excitement in the sense that, hey, hockey's back. Look, there's hockey happening.
Right.
But also, there going to be some roster, openings up for grabs. Specifically for somebody like Easton Cowan, who is graduating from the OHL. Like he can no longer play in the OHL. So his option for this coming season is either the AHL with the Toronto Marlies or with the Toronto Maple Leafs. Now, his OHL career was fantastic. He put up numbers that were very Mitch Marner-esque.
Mm-hmm.
He has a little bit more feistiness, more bite in terms of being willing to go in the corners and get the puck and just be a dog on a bone than Mitch Marner ever was. That's all promising, but before anybody anoints him the savior of this franchise, as our fan base often likes to prematurely do, we have to see if he's ready for NHL competition or if he's better suited playing a year or two in the AHL. The only way you could do that, to me, is giving him all 6 preseason games, number one. Number two, let's say he does make the team on a provisional basis. My thought process is you cannot just shove him on the third or fourth line and expect him to produce the way he did in the OHL.
Mm-hmm.
With the third and fourth line minutes, that's not going to happen. So if he's going to make the team, you got to give him some time in the top 6 forward group. You got to give him some time with the Matthewses, with the Tavares, with the Nylanders.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And I would say give him a good 10 to 20 game run with those kind of minutes. And if he performs, great, he stays. If he doesn't, he goes to the AHL. But it can't be, all right, third and fourth line minutes, now go do what you did in the OHL. You can't expect that. And by the same token,
let me say that, there are fans out there who are like, well, and I mean Leafs fans who think that without Mitch Marner, that Austin Matthews can't score 50 goals. Or like without Marner setting him up, Matthews isn't as effective. And I'm like, okay, maybe there's not a Mitch Marner out there through the draft or free agency. However, you can have a collection of players come in and make up for what Marner offered.
Right.
It doesn't always have to be a star.
And what I said to you on our last show was that, yes, Mitch Marner had 102 assists or 102 points. 3/4 of those were assists, right?
Mm-hmm.
Assists are great. But here's the thing. When you pass the puck, the person you're passing the puck to has to be able to put it in the net. If they don't put it in the net, so oftentimes like, fourth liners like David Camp and Calle Järnkrok weren't able to, then those passes mean nothing. So Nylander is still on this team. Tavares is still on this team.
We signed Knies to 6 years.
Knies is still on this team, yeah.
And a player who's going to continually get better for the next few years. So, I think that's huge.
Yeah. So my point is, we still have players that can put the puck in the net. So let's not pretend that we don't. Now,
I want to say too, I saw a stat, and again, I'm not going to say that we all know Mitch Marner is a talented player, but some players don't perform their best under pressure. And I saw that in 20 playoff games that were either games 5, 6, or 7, the games where you clinch a series, in those 20 games, no goals, 7 assists.
Yeah.
Now, he contributed, but those don't seem like star numbers.
Yeah, he was great in the regular season, but when it came to the playoffs, he was a ghost. So now, let's talk about some of the people that the Leafs brought in. First of all, Mitch Marner is no longer a Toronto Maple Leafs. he was given a sign and trade. So the Leafs signed him to an 8-year, $12 million deal with the understanding that he would be traded to the Vegas Golden Knights. In exchange, the Leafs got Nicholas Waugh, who is a center. He's
the fact that we got something is more than I thought we were going to get. I thought Marner was just out of here.
He was going to walk.
Yeah.
There was no. We were going to literally get nothing. The only.
When he said, "I don't want to negotiate during the season," I was like,
you knew he was gone.
Yeah, that's the signal that he's out of here.
But so Nicholas Waugh, let's look at some of his stats. In 04-05, first of all, he's 6'4", 201 pounds, 28 years old. Now he's from Quebec, but what are you going to do? Everybody has their issues. It is what it is. I have my issues, and that's his. But whatever. He's Canadian, so I'll let it slide. But not that I have a say in any of this. But in 2024, 2025, in 71 games, he had 15 goals, 16 assists, 31 points. But again, he's a third-line center.
Mm-hmm. And that's what I really think the Leafs need. There's an area that they need to get bigger on those third and fourth lines, contribute more, get tougher.
Now, can I tell you his career playoff stats?
Go ahead.
He's played 79 playoff games. He's won a Stanley Cup with Vegas. He's got 10 goals, 22 assists, 32 points. He's got more goals than Mitch Marner in the playoffs.
And that's where it counts the most. And we're not saying that in the regular season that he's comparable to Mitch Marner, but if he's the kind of guy who can raise his game and play,
give me 10 to 15 goals, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But show up in the playoffs and play. So I like this signing. Again, it's getting something and filling a need, a third line center, when we were about to get nothing and he was going to walk away. I think that's a win for the Leafs.
Yeah.
And a damn fine job by Brad Treliving. So I commend him for that. So that was one of our signings. Or one of our trades, I should say. Then we got Matias Maccelli that I mentioned earlier. And I'm just going to pull up his stats so we can talk about those for a bit. Now, let's see here. He's 24 years old. Okay. He's 5'11", but he has some Italian ancestry. I think his grandfather on his mother's side is Italian, so he's a paisan. He's one of us, as I say, and so I like that. But let's just look now. Last year, as a member of Utah, he had a down year. There's no doubt about it. Okay, 55 games, 8 goals, 10 assists, 18 points. However, I'd like to take you back in time because apparently I could do that thanks to the internet, to 2003, 2004, when Arizona was still a team and he was on Arizona.
Okay.
He had, in 82 games, 17 goals, 40 assists, and 57 points. The year before that, in 2022-23, with the Arizona Coyotes. In 64 games, 11 goals, 38 assists, 49 points. Those are really good numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Now, he wasn't the only one that had an off year last year in Utah. 4 or 5 players had a down year. If he can get back to his production from 2 years ago, this is already a win. Now, I'm going to say something, not to disparage Utah or formerly Arizona. If he plays on the second line with, let's say, Tavares and Nylander, or heaven forbid he plays sometime on the first line with Matthews and Knies, he has every opportunity to better the 2 years of his best stats. Mm-hmm. But even if he equals his numbers from 2 years ago, I'll take that and say, thank you very much. And he's a restricted free agent after this year, which means we retain his rights. So if things go well, right now this signing is a low risk, high reward.
And I think we have a lot of those so far. This offseason, all the focus from the media, at least down here, is they lost Mitch Marner. But I'm like, we've had a lot of transactions that have flown under the radar that I think are positive.
Yeah.
And if we get Riley back to form, if we get Matthews healthy again, and we have, remember, Berube won a cup with a lot of role players, guys who weren't stars.
He's not a slouch.
Right.
So I really love this Matias Maccelli sign. Like this one has me intrigued. I really like it. We also added some physicality,
which we needed.
Let me see. Let me pull him up. Michael. Now his stats are nothing to be to be set on fire with excitement for, but that's not what we're getting him for. It's Michael Pazzetta, who used to play for that team that wears a toilet bowl on their chest, the Montreal Canadiens. And I will never get that toilet seat analogy will never disappear. So Habs fans, if you don't like it, that's too damn bad. It does look what it looks like. I can't deny it. I'm not the only one that sees it. But again, 6'1", 219 pounds, from Toronto. Always said it was a dream to play here. He's here. He's here to be physical.
By the way, it seems like in guys like him and guys like Tavares, who, when they want to play for the Leafs, they're going to give you a little bit extra.
Yes, we'll talk about Tavares in a minute.
Yeah.
So I'm not expecting goals from Pazzetta. I'm expecting go out on the fourth line, be physical, be smart. Don't take 10,000 penalties.
Right.
Like Ryan Reeves used to. We don't need, and he's gone, thank God. Another waste of space.
Yeah, unfettered aggression doesn't always help.
We don't need ruthless aggression. This isn't WWE. We need controlled energy, physicality, and I think that's what Pazzetta will bring. But I love that he said, it's a dream come true. Like he went home to his childhood home, where his parents lived, and sat in his old room and just like his old Leaf room and just like, took it in for a weekend when he got signed on July 1st. So I like that. I like his excitement for being here. You know who else wanted to stay? Unlike, have we passed the 10-minute mark? Yeah. So I can that's the rule, right? I can't say any bad words.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. So get ready with the beat button. You know who wanted to be here? Unlike Mitch, little Mitch Marner, is John Tavares.
Johnny Toronto.
Yeah, that's right. And he signed a 4-year deal, and I think what was it, $4.5 million or thereabouts per year.
Mm-hmm.
I got news for you, Donnie. If John Tavares goes to open market in free agency, he could easily get $7 or $8 million.
Mm-hmm.
But he didn't. You know why? Because he wanted to be a Leaf.
He's in the latter stages of his career. Yeah. He knows he only has a few years left. Yeah. He wanted to be here.
Yeah.
You got to love that.
And I love that. And I love that he took the hometown discount. Good on you, sir. Yeah. No matter what happens in your 4-year tenure, even if we don't win the cup, please, dear God, just 1 in 4 years. It's not too much to ask. But even if it doesn't happen, I think he's going to get a statue outside Legends Row when it's all said and done, just because of what he did. So I like that. The re-signing. I'm happy that he's back. And again, he scored 37, 38 goals last year. I don't care that he's 34. If he puts up those numbers again, I'm happy. I don't know about you, but I would be happy.
Well, if he stays healthy, that's still entirely possible over the next 4 years.
So then we re-signed Steven Lorentz to a 3-year deal. I loved him. And again, Toronto boy, wanted to stay here. Doesn't cost us an exorbitant amount of money. But he got 10 goals last year. And I think 9 of them were game winners.
Tavares scored 38 goals last year.
Right. But Lorentz is a third and fourth liner, so you're not expecting him.
Sure.
To put up. But he scored 10 or so goals, and 8 or 9 of them were game winners. I'll take that. Right?
Sometimes a goal that's well timed
by a role player, which is what you need, right?
Mm-hmm. Especially in the playoffs. Sometimes you need that contribution.
Right.
The stars can't always be stars.
So again, I love the Lorentz signing. Now, before we talk about Knies, there's another signing that I'm intrigued by.
Okay.
So let me pull up his numbers. This is a very also heartwarming situation as well. And I'll get to that in a second. But the Leafs traded a 4th-round pick to Vancouver for Dakota Joshua. He is a 6'3", 206-pound player. He's from Dearborn, Michigan, USA. So he's one of your boys, Donnie.
Mm-hmm.
So if
this man overcame a lot.
So if it goes bad, it's all on you. I'm blaming you.
Okay.
Because he's part of your neck of the woods.
America's a big place. I've never been close to
Michigan. I'll blame you. I'll blame Trump. I'll blame anybody but anybody here. But I digress. I wouldn't actually put you in the same conversation as the only one. I digress. Anyway, last year's stats for who he played for Vancouver. Last year he was recovering from testicular cancer.
Yeah.
He beat
got to
that.
be incredibly scary.
Yeah, he beat that. Thank God. And no matter what team he was playing for, I would say thank God. There are certain things that go beyond the boundaries of tribalism. That's one of the things.
Yeah. Be a good sport.
Yes. At the end of the day, a human being is a human being no matter where you play. So 57 games, 7 goals, 7 assists, 14 points. That's not the exciting thing for me. But, there was a play, I think, not this past season, the year before, when Vancouver had a playoff run. I think they went to the second round. He got 4 goals. Let me double check that.
Okay.
He got, 13 games, 4 goals, 4 assists, 8 points in the playoffs in 13 games. It's a hell of a lot more than Mitch Marner ever did. So again, if Dakota Joshua, let's say, returns to form and gets 18 goals in the regular season, 15 to 18 goals, maybe 20, depending on where he's playing, great. But if he can get those 4 in the playoffs, that's when Adam's going to be really happy.
And get them in games 5, 6, and 7 when we're trying to clinch.
Yes.
Just a couple would be appreciated.
Now, so those are the main signings. There's been some smaller ones that are really inconsequential, right? They're probably going to play for the Marlies or be used in a trade. So, but those are the big ones. Now, let's talk about Matthew Knies. Listen, I love this kid.
How could you not?
Let's see. So first of all, he signed his extension for 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
What is the term? I think is it 6? Let me see.
6 years, $46.5 million.
Combined. So that's what?
Mm-hmm.
6. Is it 6 something per year? What is that?
Average annual value of $7.75 million.
So 7.5 for Knies. Thank you.
For a guy who is 21 and is still on the up, is still rising, and has not seen the peak of his play.
Like, he got, again, in last year's playoffs alone.
Excuse me,
5
22.
goals. What's that?
He's 22, not 21.
Yeah, 22. But in last year's playoffs alone, 5 goals, 2 assists, 7 points in 13 games. Yes, please. More of this. And I mean, his regular season last year, 29 goals. More of that over the next 6 years. Just keep doing that.
I love more. Like I said, I mean, I don't think we've seen. People don't reach their peak at 22 usually.
Yeah, unless you're, I don't know, but again, just more of that. Just
I didn't know where you were going for a second.
I don't know either. I was going to say, unless you're in high school and you're watching certain things in your parents' basement. I don't know. But anyway, but that's not going to happen. I don't know what Matthew Knies does in his off time. I don't care. All I want to know. Listen. Matthew Knies, do whatever you need to do in your private time. Whatever you want to do, go for it. I have all more power to you. As long as you keep doing what you're doing on the ice for the next 6 years, it's great. And listen, this has nothing to do with. This makes me like Matthew Knies even more. Now, I am not typically a country music fan, but there's one singer that a friend of mine suggested to me. His name's Morgan Wallen. He's got some good songs, good tunes. I like it. There's one song titled Miami that I like the song, but I can't listen to it because every time I hear Miami, I think of the Florida Panthers, and it makes me angry, so I'm very conflicted. So I can't listen to that song, but I like a lot of his songs. And Matthew Knies, when he was doing an interview after his signing, he said he heard about the contract extension. He got the news from his agent on the way to a Morgan Wallen concert. Okay. So I'm like, hey, we like the same country guy, and maybe that's a good omen. I don't know. I'm grasping at straws. We talked about last episode about my friend who brought good luck, and now she has to watch it. She has to be a good luck charm, But so this is where we are. I take every little straw and I grasp to it for dear life because I have to with this team. But so the Matthew Knies signing is glorious.
And that hasn't gotten nearly the coverage that it should have.
Now,
everything is about losing Marner.
Yeah. Now, what I would really like it if Brad Treliving can acquire a top 6 forward for that, like a bona fide top 6 forward to play with Matthews and Knies. I think that's what he's working towards. But I don't know who that would be, what it's going to cost, right?
Mm-hmm.
Will that get done in time for the regular season? I don't know. I know he's trying. We'll have to wait and see. So that's what I'd like to happen for the regular season. Of course, if the Leafs do get a top 6 forward, we'll come back and talk about it on our next episode. But considering what Treliving's done, that he's added some pieces that we need. I think on the third line with Nicolas Waugh and Dakota Joshua, he's given us some toughness. On the fourth line with Pazzetta, he got something for nothing from Marner, which that's a win on any level. He brought back Knies and Tavares. So far, I'm relatively pleased. Like I said, do I want that top 6 forward to go on to be able to play with Matthews and Knies? Yes. But right now, Donnie, if I had to pencil it in, just with the players that we know are coming back, it wouldn't shock me if Domi gets a turn with Matthews and Knies.
Mm-hmm.
And he's more, he loves to pass, right? He's passed up shots many times. We've seen it. Where we're like, shoot, Domi, shoot, and he passes.
Right.
So
that's frustrating.
But if you're gonna pass the puck to somebody, passing it to either Matthews or Knies is a good idea.
Yeah. What do you think the chances of getting Kadri back are?
I wasn't gonna put that out in the sphere because I want it.
Okay. Me too.
I wanted to look. Listen, Calgary, don't be stupid. Okay. I know they've purposely not traded with us before because Brad Treliving used to be their old GM and there's some sort of stupidity there. Look, let us bring Kadri home. Okay. Dubas and Shannon.
I'm reading that the hang-up is that we don't quite have enough assets for what Calgary wants.
Okay, look.
Which I don't know what they want, but
look.
Yeah.
I'm very hesitant. I mean, if they want Easton Cowan, that's going to be a hard pill to swallow. Okay, like he's the best prospect we have right now. So if that's what they want, it's a hard pill to swallow. But man, Kadri's got the hands. He's got the physicality. It's everything we need in the top 6 forward. And I think it was a stupid mistake that Dubas and Shanahan, Dumb and Dumber, Beavis and Butthead, whatever you want to call them, made back then when they traded him away. Man, would I love to bring him home. But again, Easton Cowan would be a tough loss. That's why I would if that's the trade they make and Kadri ends up coming home, I'm going to welcome him with open arms. Come back. But part of me really wants to give Easton Cowan a fair shot and see what he has. And again, if he makes the team, you can only do that by giving him top 6 minutes. You can't do that by putting him on the third or fourth line and saying, okay, now go do what you did in the OHL. It's impossible. It's impossible. Mm-hmm. And the Leafs brass over the years have done that. They've made that mistake with Kadri. They made that mistake with Robertson. It may end up costing them Robertson. They may not re-sign him, depending on what the qualifying offer that the arbitrator gives them, what it is. But so I do want. There's part of me that really wants Kadri back. But again, what's the cost?
Yeah.
But I know it's out there that Kadri would waive his no trade to come back to Toronto, and I could see Kadri playing with Matthews and Knies. I could see him playing with Tavares and Nylander. There's a lot of spots where he would work. So we'll see what happens. But like I said, like I think some Leaf fans are freaking out because we traded away Marner. Now what? But again, you have to look at Matias Maccelli getting a chance in the top 6. Maybe they play Nylander. Maybe it's Matthews, Knies, and Nylander, and Tavares, Domi, and Maccelli. Or again, what if Colin really impresses in preseason? And what if he starts the regular season and you know what? He starts producing at quite a good high rate. Where does he factor? See, a lot of Leaf fans aren't looking at the what if Colin surprises? What if he makes the team and earns a spot in the top 6? These are things you can't account for because this is the only benefit of a 6-game preseason. Because to me, that's too long. To me, and it's not for this season, but even next season when there's 84 games. Can we wrap up because we're getting 2 more games?
Yeah.
Let's wrap this crap. Give me 3 preseason games and let's move on.
No, I'd agree. Yeah. Just again, I realize that you've got to get, kind of your practice time in or whatever, but you don't want to get people hurt unnecessarily.
But the benefit of the preseason is Maccelli's going to get a lot of games to see where he's going to fit. So is Colin. That's why they're important. Look, wins and losses mean nothing in the preseason. I mean, one year when Kadri first came in the league, the Leafs were unbeaten in the preseason, right? And then they lost 9 in a row in the regular season. So the results, don't do that. I swear to God, don't you dare do that ever again. Come on, man. Work with me. It's my 42nd birthday, for God's sake. Help me out, man. But the point is, the preseason results mean nothing. The process of finding if players make the team, where they fit on the team, that's the important thing about preseason, okay? And those are the variables that we don't know about. But there's a lot of things still to be excited about. And I think we outlined some of them. Overall, Donnie, as we wrap up, what is of the moves we made, what are you most excited for? What are you looking forward to?
Locking up Knies. Like I said, I can't wait to see him progress as a player as the years go on. And like I said, I think that was maybe the most important thing the Leafs could have done. And it's not getting a lot of press down here. Everything is about Marner coming to Vegas, of course, which, I realize that it's, the States, whatever, and the writers are excited about him being in a place like Vegas. But, I look at things from obviously as a Toronto Maple Leafs fan. And
that's all that matters.
Huh?
Let's be honest. That's all that matters.
Yeah, exactly. And so, I'm really happy with the moves they've made so far. And I don't think they're done. And, the roster is not going to be the same at Christmas as it is when they're getting ready for the playoffs. And I do think that they're going to go to the playoffs again.
Look, barring and again, we don't know. Maybe True Living has a trade. Maybe as of this recording, he'll announce it on my birthday. Maybe come on, Brad, give me a gift, give me a present. I earned what I deserve it. Okay. People don't know you can't see the emotional scars. They're there. Let me tell you, they're there. You can't see them, but they're there. The smile is only on the outside, like the Joker said. I'm smiling on the outside. Okay, but again, I just as we wrap up, I posted a picture on my Facebook today. It's from the cartoon crossover, Turtles Forever.
Mm-hmm.
And it has the Leonardo, the Ninja Turtle, not the painter, obviously. The Ninja Turtle from the 87 cartoon, shaking hands with the Leonardo from the 2003 cartoon. So my caption for that picture was, it's the 2013-2014 Leafs and the 2024 and 2025 Leafs shaking hands and having a laugh after both disappointing me in Game 7s. But again, so the scars are there. So I deserve a gift, Brad. Give me a gift. Let's lock up. Let's trade for a top 6 forward. Hopefully it's Kadri, but if it's not Kadri, whoever it is, somebody. But anyway, so maybe that top 6 forward comes, maybe he doesn't. But there's a lot of things that we still have to see in the preseason to figure out. But again, Knies is still here. Tavares is still here.
Hopefully Matthews is healthy.
Matthews is healthy. Hopefully. Maccelli, if he gets back to that 40 assist pace, great. Dakota Joshua and his 4 goals in the playoffs. Do that.
Yeah.
Nicholas Waugh, same thing. Do what you do. So I don't think, I'm relieved that Marner is gone. You know why? Again, he was great in the regular season, but that nonsense throughout all of last season, I'm not going to negotiate the rumors. That's got to be distracting on your fellow teammates.
Right.
That's got to be a downer. So I'm glad that nonsense is gone. And also,
well, you and I talked about how that was inevitable. We said that last episode. That
and also, you know what pisses me off, Donnie, is that he's been thinking about this move for 2 years. He had no intention of signing here. Again, he's been screwing us around for 2 years.
Yeah.
And also equally as frustrating, he put more effort getting that Vegas jersey over his head when he signed there than he did in Game 7 when he yelled at the team and told them to wake up. Yeah. Give me a break. So I'm glad he's gone, and I'm not panicking that we're not going to make the playoffs without him, because there's no reason to panic right now. Now, talk to me 5 games into the regular season. If we're 0-5, then Donnie's going to have to bleep out this entire podcast because it's going to be a mess. But right now, it's not a mess. Adam is happy.
I wouldn't even panic then. I mean, it's when you're coming down the stretch. It's those last 25 games when you get a glimpse into what you can be in the playoffs.
Typically, the rule of thumb is if you're in the playoff spot by U.S. Thanksgiving, you're probably going to end up in the playoffs. So right now, it's look. Brad Treliving got something for nothing. Mm-hmm. That's a win. He brought players from Toronto that want to be here. That's a win.
Yep.
And the best part is September 22nd. Preseason hockey is back. And then here's an important date. The regular season, October 8th, Game 1, when it all matters, when the points count, against the Montreal Toilet Seats. Let's get excited. Donnie, are you ready for now? We're going to have a podcast probably before the season starts if the Leafs make another big move. But are you ready with this new podcast for a new season of Leaf hockey?
Because I wasn't ready for the last season to be over, so I can't wait for this one to come back and get some of the taste out of my mouth of that Game 7.
Like I said, I've seen the Superman movie. I liked it. I'm really happy with it. I'm now 42 years old as you're watching this. So the birthday's passed. Whatever's left of the summer by the time you're watching this, I just want to fast forward through it and get to the preseason. Again, I know it doesn't matter, points-wise, standings-wise, but hockey will be back. Leafs hockey will be back, and that matters to me. And I'm ready. So let's go. Now, for whatever's left of the summer when you're watching this, if you want to talk to Donnie or I about hockey, you can. Donnie, where do they find you?
You can find me on several places on social media. You can find me on Facebook and Blue Sky and, of course, YouTube as the Emerald Enthusiast, which has nothing to do with hockey. But if you want to talk hockey, let's talk the Maple Leafs.
If you want to find me, I'm at Adam_LeafsFan on the hell site known as Twitter. I'm also something similar to that on Blue Sky, which I will link in the description because it's blue and it has relevance to the Leafs. So, and right now until halfway through the season, the sky is blue where the Leafs are concerned. So I'll link that there. We also have the Facebook group. I'll put the link in the description. Click that. I will add you, and we can continue the conversation there if you so choose. But remember, the Toronto Maple Leafs are forever. From the first time I told Mitch Marner to Vafangulo, to the last, which won't be anytime soon. So long, everybody.
So long, everyone.